Hey guys, first regards from here, today I'll be talking about a one-shot Wings of Flame Power Sword build to instantly kill Majoris in Space Marine 2 patch 9.0. Now the Power Sword is a very entertaining weapon in this game. It has the most interesting moveset of any melee weapon in my opinion, and today I'll be using the block version because this one will be able to one-shot any Majoris in base. Now you could also use the balanced version, but to one-shot Majoris with the ground pound, outside of things like Precision Strike, you will also need like Pride and Duty or Diligence, so just keep that in mind, or like an Aerial Grace trigger. Now for the actual setup of this weapon, I do just take the perk up here first, Armored Strength. If you have armor remaining, melee damage increases by 10%. I don't usually like this perk all that much, but since we do have armor reinforcement on this class, it's actually quite a bit better. Now the next perk I take here is pretty damn good, Master of Offense. After switching sword combat style, you deal 20% more melee damage for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 10 seconds. Now in patch 9.0, they did fix it so that when you swap your stance out of a lunge, you can do a lunging attack again, so very, very strong. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength, and Perpetual Strength for more melee damage. We pick up the No Knockback with Tranquility on our Power Whirl, and then pick up the perk Melee Onslaught for like a flat melee damage bonus, then pick up Heart Target, and then pick up a very important perk here, Cutting Edge. Power Rake deals 50% more melee damage. This is one of our strongest attacks on the Power Sword period, so a 50% damage increase to it is super strong. And I just go up here and pick up the Extremis Slayer, Majoris Slayer, and Terminus Slayer perks, and I skip over Minora's Slayer because Minoras really aren't a problem for this weapon to begin with, and then I just pick up Power Restoration for more CHP regen, though you could also pick up the perk Speed Restoration. Now, for the secondary weapon, I do take the Plasma Pistol once again because we are using Wings of Flame. It will be gun striking all the time, and because of that, the AoE gun strikes of the Plasma Pistol are very useful. And also, the rate of fire Plasma Pistol is kind of insane for like getting CHP back now. It charges stupidly fast, has a pretty decent ammo economy considering, and for the perk tree, I just build pure ammo into perks here like Perpetual Velocity for an even faster charge rate, and then pick up the extra perk down here of Divine Might for even more damage. Now, for the perk tree selection, I do start off here with armor reinforcement. Non-finisher gun strikes restore 1 armor segment. Now the perk here, Overcharge, damage from charged melee attacks increases by 25%. This does actually work on our Power Rake, but I just value armor reinforcement way more because armor in this game saves your life, especially on the assault class. That even with the perk here, Defense Mechanism, you can still struggle with survivability at times because we don't have perks like Hammer of Wrath. So I really do value armor reinforcement quite a bit. This is actually one of the best perks in the entire game, and even if you were using a block weapon or something, the perfect dodge timing of the assault has a 50% increase, so getting gun strikes is very, very easy. Now next perk I take is God Tier, Defense Mechanism. Contested health fades 50% more slowly. Now this perk did get a rework. It used to be Retribution for a bonus to melee damage when you were grabbed or knocked back, but now it is the same as the Advanced Conditioning perk on the Bulwark, and it is just as good here as it is there, if not better, because you don't actually have to give up like a team perk at all. Now Defense Mechanism just makes it so you get your HP back far more easily. With how slow half the weapons on Assault are, it is incredible, especially with the fact that you can combine this with things like your Ground Pound and charge it up, and then go back down and get your CHP back where otherwise you could not. So really strong there. Now alternatively, you could take Auxiliary Arsenal for more secondary weapon damage, or Consecutive Execution for equipment recharge, because these are both incredible perks up here, but this one is just amazing. The next perk I take here is Knowledge of the Enemy. Melee damage increases by 15% against Majoris or Extremis level enemies. Now this will boost out the damage of our Ground Pound quite a bit, and now they did buff the perk down here, Active Attrition. Enemies hit by melee attacks take 15% more damage for 3 seconds, but even with 15% more damage and a 3-second like timer here, I just don't like this perk as much as Knowledge of the Enemy because this one has no prerequisites other than take the perk. I just find this one far more valuable. Now next perk I take is Proven Efficiency. All squad members deal 30% more gun strike damage. Gun strikes happen for everybody in this game all the time, regardless of weapon type and regardless of class, so really strong perk for sure, and really I just value this a lot because we are taking Wings of Flame and Aerial Grace on top of things like Strategic Strikes just not being super valuable for this build in particular, so I pretty much always take this perk here. Now next perk is Precision Strike. Ground Pound deals 100% more damage, but its radius is reduced by 50%. This just allows us to one-shot guys that we otherwise could not. Really, really strong option. Now you could take some other ones like Hammer of Wrath, but I just like this one significantly more. Next perk here is Wings of Flame. A jump pack dash damages enemies along its trajectory and always works as a perfect dodge when dodging the attack. So basically, while you have this perk, every time you hit your jump pack dash, every single inch of your jump pack after the initial dodge will count for like a perfect dodge. Very, very strong, and the damage this does is not like really really small either. It's actually quite strong. So pretty much always take this if you're using the commitment perk for like a Wings of Flame build. Very, very strong option for sure. Next perk down here, Aerial Grace. After a perfectly timed dodge using a jump pack dash, you deal 30% more damage for 10 seconds. I do like this perk and I take it quite a bit, but I kind of like Diligence and Pride and Duty more. But like the actual damage here does count for more options than just ground pound, but ground pound is usually what you're doing in the first place. So it's kind of up to you. And I will say, if you are using like a balanced weapon, Pride and Duty and Diligence are probably the way to go, because they'll actually hit the break point to one-shot any Majora's with Precision Strike. Now, next perk here for the signature perk tree is the Commitment perk. A perfectly timed dodge using a jump pack dash restores your jump pack's ability charge. This is kind of mandatory for any Wings of Flame build, because otherwise you are going to run out of jump pack dashes so quickly. So pretty much always take this if you're taking Wings of Flame. Now for the Prestige perk selection, you have a couple options here. You could either take Unyielding Oath first. When charging a ground pound, you become invulnerable for 3 seconds. This one basically makes you immune to sniper shots and stuff like that, and I know a lot of people have trouble with that, so this one's actually pretty good for that. Now alternatively, instead of this perk, you could take Practice Aim for a range damage increase of 15%. That is pretty much up to you, but either way, I would take the next perk, Adrenaline Boost. After a perfectly timed parry, block, or dodge, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. No knockback in this game just saves your life, especially when you're using a class like Assault for your melee combat all the time. So pretty much always take this perk for like any Wings of Flame build when you're not using Hammer of Wrath. And then the next perk I take is Fortitude. Health increases by 15%. Health increases in Space Marine 2 are incredibly valuable because health gives you more damage reduction the lower your HP gets, so a higher base pool means you have more effective HP at those lower HP levels. Hoping that makes sense. A next perk here is Scramble Targeting. If you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 20% less damage from ranged attacks. This perk is some of the only damage reduction the Assault has outside of it, like the Hammer of Wrath perk, and the damage reduction from this does count for your armor, so unlike the perks like Conviction are only health based. So a perk like Armor Reinforcement will actually give you more benefit out of a perk like Scramble Targeting. So Scramble Targeting also very good, and 5 or more enemies is not very hard to find in this game, so a very strong perk. And the perks up here, Duelist, and the one down here, Commendation, not very good, so I wouldn't really ever take these. So that's pretty much all there is for this build setup, though I will mention once again, if you're going to be using a balanced or fencing power sword, I would pick up Pride and Duty to hit those one-shot breakpoints on the ground pound for Majora's enemies. A very strong option, but that's pretty much all there is to this build, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and here's some actual true solo gameplay. Thanks for watching.
Jump pack review. The Xenos infestation is stemmed. Let this morass of alien country ordnance administered. Elixir hunts veiled by alien stealth. The enemy reinforcements will not provide them relief.
Right, we will try to power rake this guy if we can. I'll do this. That works. Free damage.
End that one's fistful life before its prize reinforcements. If more to come, then they too
Second dodge opportunity. Fortunate.
Xenos infestation is stemmed. We have purged the Zoan from mind and matter. Jump pack refuel.
Alright, one guy left.
Avenging angel at your disposal. None can silence the call for aid. Xenos' hunger is insatiable. This sector is cleansed.